Hello England fans, welcome back to the channel. My name's Gary and it's England squad day, the last one of this year and the second to last squad that Southgate will name before Euro 2024, so it's an important one. We're not going to lose our head over the usual suspects that are being picked here, but there are a couple of talking points that we need to take a look at. And this is of course ahead of England's final group games for European qualification against Malta and North Macedonia. Of course we are already qualified, so it was Gareth Southgate's chance to experiment. Let's take a look what he's picked. So thank you very much for joining me. Let's get the squad up here. So we've got Sam Johnston, Jordan Pickford and Aaron Ramsdale, Levi Colwill, Lewis Dunk, Mark Gahey, Harry Maguire, Fikayo Tomori, Kieran Trippier and Kyle Walker. Quite a few key players missing there, but we'll come back onto that in a second. In midfield, we've got Trent Alexander-Arnold, who again goes down as a midfielder, Jude Bellingham, Conor Gallagher, Jordan Henderson, Calvin Phillips and Declan Rice. And then up front, to complete the squad, we've got Jared Bowen, Phil Foden, Jack Grealish, Harry Kane, James Maddison, Marcus Rashford, Bukayo Saka, Ollie Watkins and Callum Wilson. So it's an interesting squad. Clearly there are some players not there that you would expect to be there, but a lot of these decisions have been taken out of Gareth Southgate's hands really due to fitness levels or actually some players pulling themselves out of the squad. Southgate of course did give a press conference today and was challenged quite vigorously actually on certain players being left out. Most notably Raheem Sterling. This is his fifth squad in a row now where he hasn't been picked. And at the start, going back to that time, I remember Sterling saying he didn't feel like he was ready. I think it was June time when Sterling literally withdrew himself, but since then he's not been picked. And that's interesting because Sterling's actually been playing pretty well, so it's a bit of an odd one. Southgate historically has shown loyalty to an awful lot of players, but he doesn't seem to be showing that to Raheem Sterling, particularly the fact that at the last Euro Sterling was England's best player and has been a key player or one of the best players for Southgate under his leadership. So it is a very odd one. He was challenged, like I said, about his relationship with Raheem Sterling, because from the outside looking in, it looks like there's been a breakdown of communication or a friendship or relationship, whatever you want to call it, but Southgate vehemently denied that. When he was challenged on it, Gareth Southgate immediately came back and said, well, who do I leave out? And obviously that got a lot of people talking. This comment in particular that I found under the YouTube video of his press conference was pretty self-explanatory, as you can see here. There are players in this squad that are being picked that arguably shouldn't be, but these are players that play in different positions, and Southgate then did go on to rightly say that the area that Sterling plays in is a very contested and arguably England's most contested area of the pitch. Another interesting fact as well, going back to these defenders here, so we've got Colwill, Dunk, Gahey, Maguire, Tomori, Trippier and Walker. There's not many left backs in there, are they? So Luke Shaw and Ben Chilwell obviously clear omissions due to injuries or not being available. He said he also wanted to pick, and this is Southgate's words, he wanted to pick Reece James, but Reece James withdrew himself from this squad. He literally made himself unavailable for England duty, and I think I gathered from the press conference from Southgate that he wasn't quite happy with that. He didn't criticise James in any sort of way, but he did linger on that point for quite a while. You'd have thought James would have really liked an England call-up and really snatched it with both hands, but not to be. Then there are of course going to be injury concerns. I think Jude Bellingham's an injury concern, Bukayo Saka's an injury concern, but there is now only one other squad that Southgate will pick before he names his Euro squad to go to the European tournament next summer. So how much can we read into this in terms of the final 23? I think the squad for the Euros, if I'm being honest with you, does pick itself, and I will be doing my early European squad video that will drop over this next week, but it's taking me a little bit longer than what I've planned. But I think the next summer's tournament squad will pick itself, with the exception of maybe 4 or 5 players that people are going to debate about. But with England already qualified, will we see players like Colwill given a chance, Ramsdale in goal for example? Conor Gallagher, will he get more time in central midfield along with Trent Alexander-Arnold? The fact that he's picked both Callum Wilson, Ollie Watkins and Harry Kane, he usually only picks one other striker, or an understudy if you like, for Harry Kane, but he's picked both Ollie Watkins and Callum Wilson, which to me shows that he's probably willing to give at least one of those players a run out out, a good run out, or maybe even both. So it'd be really good to see one of those players lead the attacking line for England. Not that Harry Kane's position at all isn't under any threat, but it'd be nice to see the options that England may have should anything happen to Harry Kane. We're in a lot of bother if it does, but it'd be nice to see what those two can do. So that's it for this video. Quite a few talking points, particularly as we are getting closer to that tournament next summer. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and I look forward to seeing you on my next video.